Hey traders, Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy. Today we're going to be answering all of your questions in today's series of Ask Marcello. So we're here in Monterrey, Mexico, here with some of our Mexican traders and Colombian traders and Swedish traders. No, she's not a trader, but she helps us. She's a friendly face of DTA. She helps us with a lot of the stuff at the Academy, especially on the Spanish side. So don't forget to leave all your questions with hashtag #AskMarcello. And obviously don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube. I love to kind of interact with all you guys to be able to answer all your questions about the process and how you need to learn and all that good stuff. First question today is from Nabil hold on, give me a chance. Zoari.
Como day trader, estou pedindo conselhos. Devo me concentrar em apenas um instrumento, como o ES? Quais são os melhores mercados futuros para operar?
So I'm gonna answer this question, Nabil, by kind of answering the question about the best way to learn. Okay, there's something that you have to learn about human psychology and human behavior in order to really master something, right? When I first was developing the Day Trading Academy and I wanted to teach people how to trade, and I wanted to try to find traders to kind of try to have them trade with my money, the idea was to try to make something as not only efficient as possible, but also, obviously I wanted to do the best that I could and have, I don't want to say that I'm the best, but have one of the best programs out there that, honestly, in my opinion, I really believe we have that because of all of the success that we've seen. So if with anything in life, Nabil, we need to make sure that we're going to focus on one thing to try to master it. Okay, there has already been doctors and scientists that have proved that people who multitask never become good at anything because they're not focusing on one thing. So in terms of being able to trade more than one instrument, I do believe that professional traders at the end of the day can become very proficient at trading more than one thing. But I don't think that newer traders should not trade more than one thing. In other words, I truly believe that everybody should focus on one market, master that one market, and then from there you can start to diversify. I just kind of explained to you the process that I take all of my traders at the Academy at DTA is I teach them only on the S&P 500 because it's one of the simplest markets to learn on. It's also the most traded market by professional day traders in the world. Sorry, Nabil. So if you take the market overall, the biggest market in the world is Forex, but the most traded market in the world by individual professional traders is the S&P 500. So the reason why I think it's best to just focus on one market is because you're going to be able to simplify the process, and it's going to allow you to pay attention to the things that are most important, which are going to be things like the psychology. So most people don't actually understand that trading is not a technical endeavor. Trading is actually a psychological endeavor, and it's really important to understand that because I think most of the people, and this is another tip that I'm going to give you about the best way to learn how to trade is you have to make sure that you try to simplify the process as much as possible to try and make sure that you're going to focus on what's important, which is learning how to read the market properly, not paying attention to an indicator, or learning how to simplify the process so much that it's going to allow you to focus on your psychology rather than paying attention to 20 screens and 20 indicators at the same time. That's really, 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 really important. So once you're able to master a market, and what I mean by master a market is not just learn how to trade on one market, because what I do when I teach people at the Day Trading Academy, I should say we, because we're a pretty big operation now, the idea is to not necessarily have you focus on much on indicators. It's more about being able to learn how to read the market properly, right? You can make a living with one market. You can make a living with the S&P 500 if you obviously I don't want you to think that you're going to buy a course and tomorrow you're just going to be a millionaire trading. That's not the way it works. Even a lot of these so-called millionaire traders that teach other millionaire traders, a lot of these guys in Forex, they only show the dollar bills and the Rolexes and all this stuff that doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? It takes a lot of time to get to that point. So you have to make sure that you're going to do the things that you're supposed to do what you need to do to learn how you're supposed to learn. So I would definitely recommend only focusing on one market. As I was starting to discuss in the beginning of the video, when you are going to learn how to do something, you have to put yourself in 100%. I recently read a book. It's called The Way That Brain Changes Itself, I believe. It's about brain plasticity. And basically what that means is the best way that the brain actually learns something, and it really is actually immersing yourself 100% into that. So if you focus on one market, and you're only paying attention to just that one market all the time, replaying the situation over and over and over and over again, it's going to allow you to really master not only that market, but master or simplify the process to be able to learn how to trade. Because what you're going to be able to do eventually is not pay attention to little things like, which market should I pay attention to, or in stocks, for example, you have to do these screening for stocks, all the stuff that really doesn't matter. All of our traders at the end of the day, they do a pre-market analysis, they trade the same market, so you could literally wake up in the morning, do a quick 1 or 2 minute pre-analysis and start trading right away, and then when you're done, you're done. And one of the advantages to that is obviously you're able to trade the same market, and then you're able to focus on one thing, so obviously you can start paying attention to all the things that are important, which is basically learning how to read the market properly and then learning how to master your psychology. Because at the end of the day, if you're paying attention to a million different markets, Nabil, or Nabil, however you say it, you're not going to be able to learn the right way. Okay, so keep that in mind. The next question I have here is from...
Como você sabe quando está pronto para fazer a transição da simulação para operar no mercado ao vivo?
John, I think that most people put way too much pressure on themselves when they want to learn how to trade. I know that most of us are tired of our jobs and tired of getting yelled at by our bosses and don't want to sit an hour in rush hour traffic only to come back in another 1 hour rush hour traffic every day. I get it. I've been there. But the answer is not to try to force yourself to try to go live or put a certain date or even pretend that you're going to just buy some course, go out, buy a new house and a car because you assume a month later, 2 months later, you're going to start making a lot of money trading, because a lot of times, most times, takes a lot more time than that. So I would base it solely on the actual results themselves. It doesn't matter if it takes you a month or two or 5, 6 years, 10 years, if you even want to put that number. If it takes you that amount of time, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter the situation of when you're going to be able to go live and when you're going to start to be consistent. Because when you're going to start to be consistent, obviously you're going to start making money, because everybody knows in this industry you can make a lot of money. But I obviously try to be a little bit more honest with you guys when it comes to the amount of time that it's going to take for you guys to learn and things like that. So how do you know you're ready? I would say that you have a few weeks worth of consistently profitable days. If you're just started trading or just started sim trading, then what I would recommend is that you look for about 6 or 7 weeks of positive results before you go live. If you've already been live before and you're going back to sim, then what I would do is probably do about 2 or 3 weeks of live. But the idea is just to have positive results on sim. Positive results means at the end of the week or at the end of the month you're positive. It doesn't matter if you just make $1. You start making whatever it is daily, whether it's $1 or 50 cents, then you start making $50 or $100 a day, and then obviously you get to the point where you start making a lot of money. So very, very good questions, guys. Thank you for all the questions. Don't forget to leave all the questions with the hashtag AskMarcello, and I'll be more than happy to go ahead and pull all the questions.
Hey, just